Good morning everyone, happy Monday and welcome back to Family Law Assistance. Now you may have heard on the news that the government is in talks and is doing an announcement, I think in about an hour, as to what's going to happen if we're going to have a mini second lockdown. Is it going to be a circuit break? Who knows? What we do know is this, is that there's probably going to be some disruption again on your lives, and that happens with children and court proceedings. So I remember when lockdown first hit and we were the first people on the scene advising you. In fact, going back to that first time lockdown hit, and of course the advice was very black and white. Everyone was told to stay at home. So obviously we were flooded with messages about what do we do with our children. We've got court orders. So we did a live, I did a live saying, look, you know, government advice, you need to be sticking to government advice, and the whole thing went out. And then, I kid you not, but about 20 to midnight on that same night, somebody with some sense had gone into the government website, which everybody was looking at. We were helping you guys to decide what to do with the children based on government advice. And we really took apart the Prime Minister's words and gave it to you as they were speaking. And we also went onto the government website, you know, because we all know the devil's in the detail, right? So they changed the website at about 20 to midnight. Okay, so this live comes at you with a caveat that things can change, and they may change, and if they do change, so will this advice, and probably so will this video. So listen, the rules for lockdown, regardless of where you are in the country, regardless of what kind of lockdown you've got, and they say, look, 1 in 5 of us are in some kind of lockdown at the moment, that the rules regarding children remain the same. And just to be clear, that's that children can spend time with the other parent. Now, of course, there's going to be caveats to this, but one thing, and no one situation is going to cover everything. We can't legislate for everything, but what we can do is, if you guys have got a court order already relating to your children, that needs to be followed. Okay, if it's not, and you know there's some good reason why the court order that you currently have cannot be followed, okay, then you either need to gain the other parent's permission to change things a little, or you're going to need some help with the courts, okay? If you don't have a court order and you're thinking, well, you know, we kind of muddled through last time, then I would recommend that whatever you guys did last time, you try and implement this time. Thing is, one size doesn't fit all, and I remember this really clearly, because when lockdown happened first time round, like I said, we were up at 11 o'clock at night doing a live for you guys at 11 o'clock at night, and then about 45 minutes later we had to take the live down because somebody with some sense, thankfully, had gone into the government website and changed what could actually be allowed. For those of you that are in court at the moment, okay, this is really good. I say it's good. Court proceedings are still happening. Court proceedings are being done remotely, and thankfully somebody from the powers that be had dictated that that's going to be happening now for the foreseeable. So guys, if you've got ongoing court hearings, that the likeliness is that you're going to keep on having those court hearings. Look, me and the team, we've seen some swings and roundabouts with court hearings, okay, remote court hearings, you know, especially those ones where they're either final or contested hearings. So the government are playing around with video conferencing. Can I just say, it's not going as well as it might be hoped. And by that, I mean they probably switched to telephone conferencing. So guys, hashtag if you know, you know. If you're going through court at the moment, you are probably having a telephone conference hearing right now. And there are swings and roundabouts to this. I've said this a bajillion times before. I mean, on the downside, you do miss out on that pre-court negotiation. You miss out on that discussion that you'd have, whether it's fruitful or not, you miss out on that sort of pre-court negotiations that you have. I'm always a massive fan, especially now, of trying to organise sort of a virtual round the table meeting with both parties, just so that we can agree issues, narrow down the issues, rather than going straight into court cold. But look, that ain't always possible. I mean, most of you guys self-rep, and so the last thing that you're going to want to do is say to the ex, you know, that thing that we can't possibly agree on, how about we have a round the table meeting to see if we can actually agree on it? Said nobody ever. So I get it. So the downside is you kind of miss that. The other downside that you have, I think, for the court is that, look, family law is more of an art than a science. And a lot, the court, the judge, the magistrate, the legal advisor, they pick up a lot from people's demeanour. If you think about the majority of our communication isn't words, there's a whole section of communication that's actually being missed. So the court misses out on that subtle communication. It misses out on the roll of the eyeballs. It misses out on people's body language. On the plus side though, okay, on the plus side, who remembers being stuck at court and waiting for hours and hours and hours? That's kind of a thing of the past. What tends to happen these days is if we've got a telephone conference hearing at, say, 11 o'clock, it kind of happens, all right? So that's kind of nice. And it's in your living room, you know? So it's comfortable. You don't have to be in the same courtroom as your ex. This stuff is now happening on a teleconference. Or... if anyone quite works out how courts manage to do video conferencing, holler in the comments below, because I've not yet found one that it's not gone a bit tits up. Just the way it is. So that kind of keeps you up to date. Of course, I will be giving you live updates as and when they happen. But listen, I understand. You know, we here at Family Law Assistance totally get that you guys are sitting at home either glued to the news, go, oh, bloody hell. So, you know, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen to my children? What's going to be happening? And what's going to be happening with court proceedings? The one thing that I have learnt in probably over 25 years that I've been working in civil litigation is that there are always options. Even if people think that they've reached the end of their road, people have got more options than they think. That's my ECHAO. I can't say it because they'll start shouting at me. So people have always got some options. We understand how completely ridiculously stressful that this is. And so rest assured that we, the team here at Family Law Assistance, we absolutely have got you. So with that in mind, I just want to give you some news. You heard from Cecilia the other day. I know it's all days kind of blurred into one really, but but we had a little natter about if people can change. If you haven't seen that live video, go check it out. I will soon be speaking with our amazing Jodie, and then we're also going to be hearing from Gemma. Amazing. So any question, guys, that you want answering, holler, put them in the comments below, and we'll be around to answer them. With that in mind, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Check you later. Over and out.